and I know this is a little bit late, but I'm going to go ahead and do my favorite books of 2016 and then my January TBR. So here we go. Okay, and to avoid any confusion, these aren't books that came out in 2016, they're books that I read in 2016. So just keep that in mind. These are in no particular order, I'm going to do all my favorites and then some honorable mentions and then jump into my TBR. Okay, my first favorite book from 2016 is Carnival by Stephanie Garber. I actually just did a review on this one, so I won't spend too much time on it. I'll link it down below. But it was so amazing. It got me out of a reading slump, and I definitely recommend it. Also, the cover is beautiful. Why wouldn't you want this one on your shelf? My next favorite book from 2016 is Brooklyn by Colm, Tóibín? I don't know, I just butchered that name. I saw the movie in December, I think, of 2015 and found out it was based on a book, and of course I wanted to read it, so I did, and of course it was better than the movie. Basically, it's just about this girl, Ailish, I think that's how you say it, I don't really remember, and her moving from Ireland to America. I can't remember exactly when it takes place, but it's historical fiction, so I really love historical fiction. I would definitely recommend it. It's not a super long read, so if you're just looking for a really quick good read, I would highly recommend Brooklyn. Another favorite book from 2016 for me was Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. Again, I saw that there was going to be a movie about it, and so I wanted to read the book first because the movie trailers looked really good. I'm not like a huge contemporary fiction person, but this is one of those books that I did really enjoy. Not for any particular reason, it's just a story and you care and you get hooked and can't stop reading till you finish it. So it's a love story. It made me cry a lot and I didn't want to put it down. My next favorite book of 2016 is Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys, I think is how you say your name. It is a historical fiction novel too that takes place during World War II in Lithuania and is about Lina, I don't know how you say it, when she gets arrested by Soviet troops and just her story and her journey through the war. It made me cry too. It's definitely an emotional read and intriguing and thought-provoking and wonderful storytelling. Another favorite book from 2016 is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. Do I have to explain why it's Cassandra Clare? As many books as she keeps writing, I will still buy them forever because they're good. It's really complicated, so I can't really give you a synopsis, and if you haven't read the rest of the Shadowhunter novels, you probably won't understand it anyway. And if you have, then you probably already know what it's about. Another one of my favorite books from 2016 was this book, Hamilton: The Revolution. I am a huge Hamilton fan, so this was super cool. It's just all the lyrics from the show, and then there's like commentary by Lin-Manuel Miranda on the lyrics and everything, and you get lots of photos. For someone who really can't just go to New York and see Hamilton, this is really helpful because you can still see pictures from the show and read a whole bunch of insight into Lin's thoughts when he was writing it. Even though it's not really a book, I would still definitely count it as one of my favorites of 2016. My next favorite, which I actually don't have with me because I loaned it to a friend, is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I actually reread it this year. I read it for the first time in like 2012 or 2013. It is one of my all-time favorite books. It changed my life. The first time I read it, I seriously it is one of the best books I ever read. I think everybody should read it, no matter who you are, not like little children because it's a kind of a dark book. But it's an amazing, amazing book about Liesl Memminger, and it's during World War II. She moves in with foster parents and they end up hiding a Jew in their basement, and Liesl befriends him, and there's also all this other stuff going on, and she steals books and learns to read, and it's just a really amazing book that I would highly recommend that everybody read at some point in their life. Okay, I'm going to go through some honorable mention books now, which are books I still really enjoyed reading in 2016. They're just not like quite up to my favorite status, but I definitely still think you should read all of these. The first one is Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton. It is so good. Again, who wouldn't want this cover just for the cover? I don't really know how to explain this one, so I'm just going to read the part of the blurb for you.
Mani Al-Hinza is a gifted gunslinger with perfect aim, but she can't shoot her way out of Dustwalk. Then she meets Jin, a foreigner in a shooting contest, and sees him as the perfect escape route. Though she spent years of dreaming of leaving Dustwalk, she never imagined she'd gallop away on a mythical horse, but that it would take a foreign fugitive to show her the heart of the desert she thought she knew. Rebel of the Sands reveals what happens when a dream deferred explodes. In the fires of rebellion, the smolder of romantic passion, and the all-consuming inferno of a girl finally at long last embracing her power.
So as you can see, Rebel of the Sands has a little bit of everything for everybody, and it's a great read. I would highly recommend this, and I think the sequel comes out this year, and I am super pumped for that. My next honorable mention is The Hamilton Affair by Elizabeth Cobbs. Again, I just really like Hamilton, and I really enjoyed trying to fit in what I read in this with what I knew from the musical, and just figuring out what was true and what were details that the author created. I like doing that with any historical fiction novel. So if you like Hamilton, I would definitely recommend The Hamilton Affair. The next ones are the Magnus Chase books by Riordan. I read both the ones that are out this year. I'm just holding up this one because I like the cover better. It's classic Riordan. They're hilarious, they're fun, and they're adventurous. If you enjoyed any Riordan books, definitely pick up the Magnus Chase one. It's way more like Percy than like his Egyptian series. Like, I didn't really like that one this much, but this one goes back to that really nice humor and really feeling like you know the mythology, which I didn't feel like so much with the Egyptian series, but I felt like I was learning mythology again with the Magnus Chase books. My next honorable mention is The Crown by Kiera. Look at this cover. They're all so pretty sitting together on my bookshelf. It's the conclusion to the whole selection series, like with America and then with her daughter, Eadlyn. Why did I never take this Target tag off? Here we go, much better. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but it's basically the conclusion to Eadlyn's selection that she held. I love these books so much, all 5 of them. So I highly recommend them. They're not for everybody, but I love them. Just look for The Selection by Kiera, and that's where you need to start. My second to last honorable mention is My Lady Jane. It is by Cynthia, Brodi, Ashton, and Jodi Meadows. It is like a reimagined retelling of Jane Grey, who was Queen of England for 6 days after Edward died and before Mary ruled. It's just putting it into a more fantasy setting. Like, instead of Catholics and Protestants, you have Verities and Edians. And it's funny, and I love historical fiction, so I would highly recommend this one for anybody else who does, or just wants a good funny book. My last honorable mentions are kind of cheating, but it is the Fantastic Beasts script book and then the Cursed Child script book, which I left at school. They're Harry Potter. So this year was the return of Harry Potter, and that's why I love them. I love the story of Fantastic Beasts a lot more than I love the story of Cursed Child, but either way, they are J.K. Rowling's world and canon, and it has been like 5 years since Harry Potter was as big as it was this year. Just going back to that world made those my favorite. Now I am going to just do my TBR for January, and just a disclaimer, this could change a lot before the end of the month, but this is my rough plan for right now. First of all, I just finished A Scrappy Little Nobody by Kendrick. I've always thought she's super funny and cool, and her book was super funny and cool, so it definitely did not disappoint. Today I started The Passion of Dolsa. It's by Julie Berry. I'm kind of confused right now because I'm only like 10 pages in, but you know, I'm hoping it turns out to be really good. It's about this girl named Dolsa, and what I'm thinking happens is she's like condemned as a heretic or something, and it takes place in like 1211, historical fiction. It's just her story, and like I said, I'm really confused right now because I'm only 10 pages in. But it looks promising. The next book I'm hoping to get to in January is Shadow and Bone. It's by Leigh Bardugo. I think that's how you say it. I've heard a lot of great things about it. Not really sure that much what it's about. It seems like it's pretty fantasy though, which I love. I'm really looking forward to reading it. I also want to get to Scythe, which is by Neil Shusterman. I think I butchered that name. Basically, it's in this time where humans have conquered death, and people named Scythes they're the ones in charge of taking life and keeping the population under control. And there are these 2 kids, they're apprenticed to be Scythes, and I think that's the basis of the book. I haven't read it, don't know where it goes from there, but I am really excited to read it. The last book officially on my January TBR is The Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. This year I think I'm going to try to reread one of the Harry Potter books every month till I'm done. I read this version, the illustrated version of Sorcerer's Stone last year, and I got Chamber of Secrets for Christmas, so I'm gonna work through those 2 and then the normal editions, obviously. of the rest of the series during this year, and I am so excited about it because Harry Potter. Also, I might read Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth because I know that's coming out this month, I think. But I don't really know what it's about, so we'll see if that ends up happening or not. So that was my 2016 wrap-up and my January TBR. Again, my January TBR could change a lot. I read 33 or 35 books in 2016, which I know isn't a terribly great amount, but if you want to see those, you can go to my Goodreads, which I have linked below, and let me know what your favorite books of 2016 were, what you thought about any of the ones I mentioned in the video, and what you're looking forward to reading in January, or if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Bye!